Can I hear me? Hi. The service is not the best here. We are all waiting for Ashton. All the media here is waiting. People were yelling H2O, H2O. So definitely, I don't hear you as well. I can't hear you, but I think it's going to take a while. I should have brought headphones. Can you hear me okay though? Let me, maybe if I move to somewhere quiet, but they did say they were going to bring them out. Oh, they got 3 more fights. Apparently, there's 3 more spring bouts,
Oh,
but
okay.
they're just not televised.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can hear you much, much better. It appears like they're
Okay,
bringing
good.
out. Yeah, it seems like there's spring bouts because look, there's fighters coming out.
Okay. All right. Very nice.
Truth right here. Truth right here.
Well, Lily, I'll tell you what. When
Let me move out maybe to a more quiet area.
here's what I'd suggest. If you're able to grab an interview, you want to just jump back in, and then if once you're ready to kind of join the rest of the conversation, we'll have you hop in.
Okay.
Does that work?
Okie dokie.
All right.
I'll BRB.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Still waiting on Lukey. I don't know what happened. But hopefully you can hear me better now. I had my my snowball mic on and is not treating me well right now. So if you can't hear me, please leave a note in the message on the message board there. Oh, that's Gail. Gail's joined us. Gail, can you hear me okay? Beautiful. Great. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of start this thing over because we're just getting our feet under us, and I'm gonna just take it off the top now, and hopefully by then Lukey will be able to join us as well. So, welcome to the Good Fight. My name's Jason Langendorf. I'm the Good Fights editor, and this is our first TGF post-fight show. And hopefully there's many more to come, and hopefully much much better production value and a little bit more organization. We're still figuring out all the kinks here on Substack and figuring out the best way to do this. So yes, the first of many. Let's hope, Gail. So I'm hearing back from Lukey now. Lucas Cattell is one of our fantastic contributors, and he's kind of our jack of all trades, do everything, utility guy, super utility guy. He will be joining us in a moment, and Liliana Uyoya will be joining us again a little bit later. There he is.
Yeah, man. Sorry for leaving you hanging. I was just sitting in an empty basement, hoping the Wi-Fi would work.
Okay.
And it didn't. Just a spoiler alert.
No, no worries. No worries.
So I was just sitting there texting with you, and guess what? You're like, you don't respond because the Wi-Fi doesn't work. But what did you see, Jason? Why don't you play point guard Jalen Brunson?
Well, I'm hearing from Lily that it sounds like she's going to get Ashton Sylve. So hopefully she'll
That'd be
jump back
cool.
in. Yeah, hopefully she'll jump back in and we'll get to talk to Sylve for a moment. Let me just message her real quick. All right. So I kind of started things over because we were missing you and Lily jumped in, and so we're sorting that out. So welcome to crazy circus that is the good fight. So let's just start from the top. I talked a little bit about, and it'll probably get edited out after the fact. Oh, cheers, by the way.
No, I'm drinking tea.
No, I know.
It
So
just
am I.
looks a little different. It's it's tea, Texas tea.
That's right.
That's
All right.
right.
So we had Kayla Gomez won a 4-round decision over Shantane Creer. Both of their debuts, kind of an interesting, semi-interesting style matchup. But what did you see out of Gomez that you liked or that stuck out to you, Lukey?
More fascinating is like there's a thing, and maybe one day at the Good Fight we'll do this. Maybe I'll house you or something. There's a amateur event called the Beautiful Brawlers run by Blanca Gutierrez, who's just an absolute amazing advocate for women's boxing. And I met Kayla Gomez at the Beautiful Brawlers. She gets all the best women's boxers, and she stopped a fighter up and comer there. And she's always been on my radar as one of the top national champions. Many of the top fighters always compared themselves to Kayla Gomez in the amateurs, and that's a good assessment for a top-notch fighter when they compare themselves to it. So what I just saw was Kayla Gomez is someone with world title potential, and she did what a world title potential fighter should do. Enters with a lot of steam. Enters with someone who had, a good record, good prestige, and she did what I'd expect from her. So I think in women's boxing, it's weird. You can fight for a belt like in Lomachenko type status. So I mean, she's someone that could fight for a belt in 5 or 6 fights. What did you see, Jason?
I like the aggressiveness. I want to see her in with somebody who's going to give her a little more to work with. But and you know what? I'm going to cut myself off here because I think Lily's jumping back in.
Oh, that was sick. I thought I changed.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
And we executed. There were some spots towards the end of the fight where it seemed like he was coming on a little bit, but you kind of weathered the storm.
Yeah. We figured that was gonna happen. That's JoJo Diaz, especially during later in the rounds. He come alive a bit more, so we just expected that and just try to do what we did, and
This is
it went out great.
Zoom post
How good
fight.
does it feel getting a name like JoJo Diaz on your record? Kind of putting the past loss kind of behind you, maybe all the way now. I don't know. How do you feel? It just
I mean, it was more great that I got to fight in front of my family. My grandma was her first time actually come to one of my professional fights. She usually doesn't come to any of my fights, even the amateur. So, like she said, she wanted me to get him out early. He's just a tough opponent, so I just hope to make her happy as well.
Did you hear your grandma during the fight?
No, I mean, I heard a few people, but just stay locked in. Like I said, I just don't inside the fight. You don't really try to please the crowd, which I done a few times, and it went great a lot of times. Sometimes it went bad, but just take every round at a time.
Main event on DAZN, my last one. What's obviously we all we're bloodthirsty, right? So what's going to be next for you?
Like I said, just during my summer.
Grade your performance tonight against a former champ.
I think A+. Definitely a lot of things that I could work on, but A+. We figured this was going to be the fight. One of my biggest fights, and I just got the.
I believe I heard the commentator say, "We know who you want next." I didn't hear who you want next. Can you let me know what they said and any top 3 names that you would like?
I think it's pretty obvious. I got lost on my record, so I just want to get that back.
What message do you have for him? For Europe?
I think we sent the message out a few times, try to get the fight. So it's gonna be the same message. It's another contract, and hopefully he accept it.
Would that fight be hard to make? You feel like, or?
It's only hard, if they don't accept it. So other than that, I think it's pretty easy.
What's your dream matchup for yourself and for the sport of boxing?
My dream matchup, I don't know. I don't know. I just think when I get there. And what was the question?
Like dream matchup for the sport of boxing.
Sport of boxing.
See you get in the ring.
I think right now is Bam and Inouye.
For sure.
Who wins that fight?
Okay. Bam.
I got Bam. I got Bam.
What would you say to the people? Because there's some people who online, I've just checked, they're saying that you're still lacking in the defensive areas. What do you say to the people who are still maybe doubting you moving forward?
Came back in defense and he landed less than 10% of the shots.
You're hitting it, you're gonna get hit boxing. That's just a part of it. JoJo's a veteran. Anyone who fights him, they're gonna get hit as well. I try to take him out. That's just another part of it. Try to get the knockout. So of course, when you look for a knockout, sometimes you get hit in the midst of it. But other than that, when I got back to boxing, it was a clean night.
Should you get a world title shot, would you even, think of maybe even defending here in Long Beach, bringing back a title? And, they got a lot for you. You don't have a belt yet. Do you feel like you would owe it to them to come back with a title?
Yeah, definitely. That's the whole plan of this all to make it to the top. That's my good. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go at it. Let's go. H2O.
Did any media clap in that? Can we get the media clap?
All right,
cam on
yeah.
that?
I guess I'm gonna stop.
It's blurred enough that they
All
won't
right,
be
thoughts,
identified.
prayers.
Good job, Lily. Thank you.
Good job. That was awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not yet impressed. I'm not. Is that rude? Like, he's from Long Beach. I'm from Long Beach. I should be doing like backflips for this guy, low key. But like, I don't know. I want to see more, and maybe he will give me more. I might have.
Uh-oh. The dreaded arena Wi-Fi. The dreaded arena.
That was actually.
Yeah,
There we go.
no. Hold on. Y'all are gonna go on the tour of
I'll tell
the
you what,
back
Lily.
area.
I'll tell you what, Lily. Why don't you get settled? We're gonna go ahead and get through
How do
some of
I
these
get
other fights.
myself?
We're gonna get through some of these other fights. We'll bring you back in a moment.
This is like a real show. I like this. What I wanted to know
It's not real yet, man. This is all completely bullshit off from the hip. But we're gonna try and get there.
I like it. But I want to know what Ashton's glasses were. They look designer, and I'm a big fan of boxers wearing glasses in the post-fight presser, and I think that there's like a heavy investment in it.
So, by the way, for the viewers who may not know, that was Ashton Sylve.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Are you with us?
I'm here, and there's Lupita, who just signed to MVP.
Okay.
I think her last name is Medina, Lupita Medina. She's
good fighter.
fights, I think, with Manny Robles. She was sparring with Mitsuki Hiruta.
How did it
And
go?
I believe that's her right there. She just got signed by MVP. Just talking shit to Yocasta Valle, who's also signed with MVP. They're Twitter fingers. And then there is Cyborg over here.
Yeah, we saw her on the broadcast.
So I'm not sure if you guys want me to walk up to anybody and ask them anything.
Yeah,
What would you guys
just
like?
do it. I mean, we don't really know.
Yeah,
what
whatever you feel like you can get.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you guys want it live? Would you guys want me to record it?
No,
How would
go
y'all
live.
prefer?
This will
Let's
be
go
recorded
live.
later. So
Let's
just
try this.
We'll edit this, after the fact, and it's make me a little better looking. And
Well, I don't
Wait,
think
go up?
No,
Sorry, I
speak for
couldn't hear you.
yourself, bro. Feel like
No,
it's
Wait,
go
do
ahead.
y'all want me to go up to them? Yes, no?
Yes,
Yeah,
please,
go up to
yeah.
him. Just
Go
ask
for it,
him
Lily.
random
Oh, okay, then
things.
yay.
Let's get
Okay,
it.
I will. Because I will. And then there's lighting. So the lighting is great.
There you go.
I'm going to go ahead and walk up
Yeah,
to her
this-
right now. Lupita,
this
do you
is
have a
the-
minute? Okay, I'm going to put a microphone on you, okay? It's because I'm recording you for one of our... I know. All right, Lupita, you got signed by MVP. Let me know how that felt and how did that go about?
Man, it's amazing. I'm glad to be a part of, the building of women's boxing. And what better place to do it at with MVP? They're giving us a platform and the exposure we need to keep growing.
I saw that you were beefing a little bit with Yocasta Valle. Tell me a little bit about that, because I'm obviously not familiar with her. She had a great fight for Undisputed that she lost. It was a close fight against Estrada. But, what is that beef there? You're so young. She's older.
I mean, it's nothing personal. Look, she's currently number one at 105. So obviously we're going to, we're gonna keep going towards the best, right? If she's currently the best at 105, we're gonna try and fight her at 105. I guess her mom has an issue with that, which is kind of absurd. You're 30 years old. You don't need your mom to be defending you over DMs. But it's not. Look, it's nothing personal for me. You know, I'm gonna fight to become the best, and if she's in my way, then that's solid. Yeah.
You got some solid sparring with Mitsuki Hiruta. Talk a little bit about being a stablemate with one of the best girl champs in the world.
Man, sparring with one of the pound for pound women fighters, Mitsuki Hiruta, who just fought in Egypt. It's amazing. Obviously, she fights at 115. I fight at 105. So obviously there is weight disparity, but the knowledge I can get from a world champion is unmatched.
And Manny Robles, obviously. A little bit about working with him, because you've been training with him for a while now. Talk to me a little bit about the history you have with Manny Robles, because you also helped Michaela Meyer. So he's has a lot of experience training women. A little bit about the history with him.
Yeah, so I started training with him when I was 14, as well as my main coach, Edgar Hosler.
Oh, Estrellita, yeah.
Yes, so that's my main coach. It's funny because Estrellita told me straight up, he don't train girls. We don't want to train girls. But I was very persistent, and they seen that. They saw the grit I
love that.
You know, winning tournament after tournament, getting best boxer. You know,
you're like,
yeah.
Hashtag que más quieren.
Yeah, we kind of like proved our point, and here we are. Now we have a gym filled with girls, which is ironic. They didn't want to train girls in the beginning, but it's been great. You know, being able to be a part of a team and a family that just wants to see one another grow. You know, there's no such type of animosity. I know a lot of gyms do have that competitive nature, but we don't. It's like a family. We want to keep seeing each other grow, helping each other out, and yeah.
Something that I like too is that I see you guys put a lot of your personality into your outfits, even when you're just training, right? But a lot of people still have the antiquated, some may say antiquated, like personality of being like, oh, you guys are showing too much. What are you gonna say to people who say, boxers should be there to box, not to show skin? What do you say to people who say like stuff like that when you just showing your personality?
Especially when you knock people out. As long as our skills can back it up, then really gives a fuck. To what game? So yeah, I feel like being in a very male-dominated sport, male environment, you just want to feel, you just want to feel feminine. You want to feel pretty, and there shouldn't be an issue with that.
Lastly, so I can let you go enjoy the night. Where can we expect that we can see you, on MVP on one of the next shows?
I'm going to be announcing my fight very soon, and on all social platforms, _babyfaces.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll see you. Thank you. She's so sweet, right?
Those are excellent questions. We got great answers.
Like him is so fitting. Babyface assassin. Because beautiful. I love that. She's very
anybody else
cool.
that you're stalking out
very
there?
Cute.
Lily, is there anybody else that you're stalking out there right now? Or
Wait, what did you say? I heard stalker. I heard I was looking for it, but it seems like I miss Cyborg. It seems like that may be it for the night. Well, there is a couple of there's a couple of fights still going on. So maybe I have more deets on stuff like that.
Here's what I would suggest.
But that was a nice little chat. That was a cute little chat.
Yes, it was. Why don't you find a spot where you got good Wi-Fi connect and it's not too loud so that you can jump back in with us. I'll send you another invite again, okay?
Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you in a few.
I'm like 10 minutes from home, so I'm probably gonna head home.
Oh, all right, that'll work. We'll talk to you in a few.
Yes.
All right. And we're waiting for Lukey to hop back in as well. Let's see. And I'm solo again. One moment, please. We will go back to where we left off. We were talking about Kayla Gomez and Shantine Career. Lukey gave us some good detail there, and I'm trying to get him back in. One moment, please. All right. Next fight was David Lopez against Joey Borrero. Lopez is a nice prospect. He's now 9-0, and Borrero was pretty good competition at this stage of Lopez's career. 12-2 coming in. Had one of the more interesting ring walks that I've seen. Came in holding the Bible. Didn't help him much in the fight, but interesting ring walk nonetheless. Lopez looked great. And actually, I really want to get Lukey involved here because Lopez is an Oakland guy. Lukey's an Oakland guy. Lukey's known Lopez for quite some time now. And matter of fact, we're going to have a pretty cool video of Lopez coming up in a few days. So be on the lookout for that. And I want to get Lukey in here so that he can talk a little more about that. And I don't know why it's not working. There he is right now, in case you hadn't heard. All right, one moment. I'm not sure why he's being stonewalled by this thing. I'm going to pause for 1 sec and try and get him in here. Hang with us, Gail.
Hey, Jay.
What's up, buddy?
I'm just trying to get back on. I'm struggling, bro.
I'm going to cancel this invite and send you another one. I don't know.
Send me a new one.
Yeah, I'm going to send you a new one. Just take whatever the latest one that comes to you.
Just came right now.
Okay,
I got really strong opinions. So I'm
well, I want to hear them, man. And everybody else wants to hear them. Nobody wants to just listen to me
set
drone
up
on.
your post to publish automatically. Keep his drafts. It's like, say, share clips. I'm like, continue. And then it just shoots me to the dashboard. It's not letting me jump back in.
Weird.
It's like, should I create a burner account or something? It's like,
I don't know. I can't see on your end, so I'm not even sure what to suggest to you.
okay. Oh, yeah, it's just weird. It's like I can't jump into the portal.
Well, keep trying. In the meantime, we're going to try this. I'm going to we're going to crowdsource this thing. Gail, can you hear Lukey as we're talking on the phone here?
Lukey via remote. This is Lukey.
We're patching him in. All right. So Gail can hear you. So we're going to do it this way. You keep trying to patch back in, but in the short term, let's get your thoughts on David Lopez.
Oh, I mean, it's sensational. And I shot the video with him, which for the good fight that's coming. And, you know, Jason does such great narrations for it as well. You know, he beat the crap out of a guy with a good record. And that's all you can ask. Look, I think he's got a chance to be a real special fighter because special fighters beat the crap out of guys when they step up in competition. And, you know, it's yet to be seen where he goes. But, you know, I thought that's everything you could ask for a prospect. But what do you guys think?
No, I felt the same. Lily's not with us at the moment. She's going to jump back on shortly. But, no, I thought he looked great. Thought he did what he was supposed to do, just as you said. As I mentioned a minute ago before you hop back on, Borrero had a pretty good record. Little bit more experience than some of the other guys Lopez has been fighting. And like you said, you tore him up. So you can't really ask for anything more. but yeah, I'm looking forward to that video, which I did mention. You've done awesome work on that stuff, and I'm just like I keep getting excited about this stuff every time the next one comes. So, and other people have been pretty jacked about it as well. So
it's a family affair, right? It's like a co-op, right?
That's
So
exactly
like
right.
you're like the greatest writer I've ever met, or at least the greatest editor I've ever met.
How many writers have you met?
Probably you.
All right. Well,
But,
look,
like,
we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the next fight. So we're gonna talk Ernesto
Okay.
Mercado. Now
Yeah.
19-0, 18 KOs. I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about the guy, but he looked.
I know him good.
I've
been following from probably. Actually, you want me to tell a story?
Well, hold on.
For the
So
audience?
just want to
Okay.
mention, just in case anybody didn't see it, or just to refresh their memories as they're watching this, Mercado had a second-round knockout of Juan Carlos Burgos, 36-9-3 now. That's not a bad resume patter for Mercado. But yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so I know Tito really well. He fought Charlie Shee, who's like my nephew. They had a really close fight in the Olympic Trials 2019. Tito beat him. Ended up not fighting Keyshawn Davis in the finals. Keyshawn gets the Olympic spot. A lot of boring politics, all that stuff. No one cares. Burgos, I was actually in Devin Haney's locker room in 2018 when Devin Haney fought Burgos in Showbox. Burgos is ancient. Burgos, I remember seeing in 2014 as a world-class contender, and he was having trouble with guys. So Tito is an exceptional talent. And look, I'm going to give strong opinions, right? Because this is our thing, and I can't pull any punches anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the deal? I can't pull any punches.
No,
I think
you don't get to.
The thing, I don't get to pull any punches. If we're gonna do the good fight, I gotta say what I gotta say, because that's how we're gonna make a name for ourselves.
Let's
That's
hear
how
it.
we're gonna be the good fight. I think Tito Mercado, and I'm gonna say something that I wouldn't normally say, but this is the good fight, so I gotta say it. I think sometimes he fights like a baby rattlesnake. He's something that's very afraid of what's coming at him. And it makes him very dangerous, and he's explosive, and he's able to hit things. But I'm not sure about where he's going to go. I like him as a fighter. I've seen him for years. I've probably done me and Gail and a few other people have probably done the most Tito Mercado interviews of anyone, because I've done a ton of Tito Mercado interviews. But I feel like he reminds me of a baby rattlesnake, because he's extremely dangerous. But at the same time, when I look in his eyes and I look at how he fights, I see a guy that doesn't want to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's me too. And I see someone that's looking back at the punches, and the viciousness that he throws at his opponent is also the fear of what he sees coming back. So when he fought a guy who, Burgos, I went to a fight of his when I was watching Dan Carlton doing Hardcore History in 2015, and he was in a competitive fight. I mean, this is a lifetime ago. I mean, Burgos is an old fighter who's been through a lot of wars. I believe, didn't he go 12 rounds with Mikey? And he's an HBO fighter.
Yeah.
So
which tells you how old he is, right?
Yeah, he's an HBO fighter. He's more so an HBO and an ESPN. I mean, you probably covered him on ESPN when he fought on ESPN Friday Night Fights.
I did.
That's how far back he goes,
yeah.
Right? Like, you probably literally did stories with him.
Yeah.
And Mercado's impressive to me, but I'm not going to be impressed with this fight.
No, I get that. I get that completely.
I mean?
So I'm going to tell you what, we're going to try a little something here. Lily did get an interview with Mercado after the fight. So we're going to I'm going to share my screen here, and let's see if we can.
Oh, I'm back.
Are you back?
I'm back.
Fantastic.
How about that? The magic of
right.
just trying stuff.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you can do, right? Except now,
This is the sickest
I'm
show.
slowing down.
I wish I was a
Now I'm
boxing
slowing
fan
down.
watching this.
I know. Well, it is boxing, so you know, the theater of the unexpected, right?
No, I'm
Uh,
saying that as a good thing. Like, I'd love to watch this show. Like, all the stuff we're saying and stuff.
well, let's hope everybody else feels the same way. All right, let me see if I can fire up this. It's okay. It doesn't want to do that. Hold on. Entire screen. Yeah, let's go with
You
the
don't even
entire.
understand how jazzed I am to be back in the Zoom on Substack. I'm fired up. I was on a phone call
Okay.
with a correspondent via phone, and now I'm back as a
Oh yeah,
video
yeah, yeah. I hear what you're
correspondent.
saying. I hear what you're saying. All right, hold on. Here's what we're gonna do. Everybody's gonna have to come back and listen to this Mercado interview or watch this Mercado interview in full later
A
on.
great performance, even though I did see that you were.
But you can
saying
hear
it's
it
a
for
bit
now.
Fast for you. Were you trying to get the rounds in?
I was definitely trying to get the rounds in, or at least I was expecting to, because I mean, this guy goes rounds with everybody. So I thought he was gonna be able to, withstand my punches a little longer. But obviously, it's boxing. Once you get in there with me, it's different.
How did you feel fighting here in Thunder Studios? Because the energy and it's a little bit more intimate, but you hear the crowd a lot. Did you feel like the crowd helped you out tonight? Because I saw people holding signs for you out there.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. Like I said, fighting close to home, it's you get a lot of family friends, so it definitely brought me back to a couple years ago when I fought back in Ontario, back in the hometown kind of local club scene. So it was definitely fun, and like I said, I was happy I was able to do a show for them.
Talk to me a little bit about how you grade your performance, though, because you did say it was a little fast, but are you a little maybe surprised, like, hey, I got him out of there a little quicker than I thought, and maybe that's a good sign for you?
I don't know, with 2 rounds sometimes, or a round or two, because most of my fights end within the first 3. It's hard to give myself an assessment because I'm like, there's so much stuff that I worked on in the gym that I can't really it's hard. It's not enough time for me to grade myself on, but I mean, obviously taking them out, I would give myself an A, but I had to look back at the tape. It was just way too quick. But I thought I did what I had to do to take them out quick.
Yeah, your face looks clean. You didn't look like you had a fight. If, it was your world and you had to choose, who would you want in there to test you out so you can get that work that you get in the gym and display it?
Well, obviously any of the world champions, right? But, that's sometimes not how boxing works. Anybody in the top 10, though, particularly, though, I really want Frank Martin. He's been running his mouth, saying we're going to make a fight happen. We still haven't made it happen yet. I want to see what their side's talking about.
What do you...
So, Mercado wants Frank Martin. You mentioned the title holders as well. Lukey, is he ready for that?
I mean, that's a good realistic fight. Like, we haven't gotten to Ashton Sylve's fight, but like an A+ grade off of this performance is like, I wish I went to college with those type of professors. I mean, what do you think? Like, that's like a 50-50 fight. Frank has moments of looking good and he has moments of looking flawed. Tito to me is a baby rattlesnake. He's very dangerous, but I mean, I still question when he gets hit how he's going to respond. So I mean, to me, that's a scintillating fight. As a boxing observer and someone that gives an opinion, those are the type of fights that you and me are gonna, maybe get tuned up and jump on a Substack and talk about.
Well, I don't know how Mercado's team feels about it. I don't know, how they want to move him at this point. But I agree. I think it's a good fight. I think it's an appropriate fight at this point. I don't know if he's ready for a world title holder, but yeah, I'd like to see that fight. And then we'll fire up that interview. We'll get it up there on the YouTube page, and hopefully we'll have a better handle on this next time to kind of be able to share that stuff, and it'll be a little bit more seamless. In the short term, though, we'll keep moving. Amir Anderson got himself a 10-round decision over. What's
That's
that?
a cool nickname, right? Cashman.
Cashman. Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Would you ever go by Cashman? Would you ever be like Cashman Jason?
Yeah. Well, isn't Cashman way cooler than Jason?
I don't know. I don't think I could go by Cashman Lukey. Like, when do you make that decision?
Cashman, oh man, that'd be good for you, Cashman Cattell.
Cashman Cattell. Like, what's the day? Like I fuck up 5 guys, and I'm like, okay, I'm 5-0. I'm Cashman. Like, when is the decision to become Cashman? Like,
Gail's saying trash can.
Like, I know it sounds funny, but like with
Trash
some of these
man.
these nicknames, they just expect reporters to accept them. And it's like, when is the day you became Cash Man?
And the old boxing nicknames were so much better. Just so much better. Give me
Well, it's like
another give me another six
non-materialistic,
heads
right?
or, you know, the
Razor
man
Ruddock.
just call him Mauler and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so Anderson moved to 8-0, got himself a UD10 over Jonas Sylvain. It was Sylvain's first loss. He's now 9-1-1. So pretty solid matchup of guys on the come up. But Anderson immediately started calling for Troy. Everybody from Troy
Love
Isley
that.
to
Just
Jahai
threw a bunch
Tucker
of
to
guys
Boots.
under the bus.
Say that again.
He just threw a bunch of guys under the bus. He's like, yeah, Jahai Tucker, Troy Isley, you know, I'm going for all these guys.
He's ready for
Look,
all of it.
Amir Anderson's a really good amateur who I followed and I thought had a ton of potential. I think he's a great world championship prospect. Experience, like if my guy Bob Santos was on here, he'd say this with me. Experience matters. And simply put, Amir Anderson doesn't have enough experience just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with boxing is like you're an alpha male and you're used to beating guys up and you're more coordinated and all that stuff. But when you're 8-0, you're just typically not ready for a 20-0 fighter.
Yeah,
And right, unless you're like, and I get that the fans kind of crap on Lomachenko, right? They're like, oh, Lomachenko. But Lomachenko like fought like the best of the best in 2 fights. Like, right? And it's like Amir Anderson's a very good amateur, but he's not Lomachenko. This is a guy that should at his very
who did Loma
best.
take out? What was it? His first fight or second fight was
Second fight was Salido. Third fight was
That's
Gary
right.
Russell Jr.
Yeah. He wanted to fight a title winner in his first fight, and they couldn't get it lined up. But he got Salido in number 2. So yeah. And yes, Amir Anderson is not Vasily Lomachenko. So
no, and to me, it just feels like what you and me always talk about, or what some other people talk about, where it's the social media generation, where guys just say stuff and there's no consequence, right? You just say a bunch of stuff, hope it gets traction. But to me, Amir Anderson's a very talented fighter. He has a great understanding of range. I want to see how he responds to getting hit in the ring, because I think there is questions around. He stands a little upright, right? And look, we're going to do, and now I'm going to sound like Teddy Atlas, but we're going to do, for the good fight, we're going to do more educated analysis. We're not going to just do the cookie cutter analysis.
Don't set their expectations too high. Come on.
No, we're setting them too high. We're setting them too high. And what my fear with Amir Anderson is he stands a little high. And what I mean by that is he doesn't bend his knees. And sometimes when you don't bend your knees, you get hit with shots, and shots land a little bit firmer, you know? And it's kind of like a golf shot, right? Everyone dreams of hitting a 300-yard drive, but 290 yards isn't bad. But if in boxing, a 300-yard drive is a knockout. 290 yards is your knee buckles. And my worry is when you climb up those ranks, there's guys that hit you. And when you have those small imperfections, that can happen. But to me, Amir Anderson is the type of fighter who could win a world title in 15 or 16 fights. And if he moves beyond that point, and tonight what he did, I thought was impressive. He had some resistance, he struggled at moments, and he turned the tide. But he's nowhere near a world title if we're being factual. Sure. If we're being reality, right?
And he had his moments where Sylvain, tested him a little bit, and there were moments he didn't look great, or Sylvain forced that on him. But it was good to see him kind of close the show. He looked better towards the end of the fight. I think that last round he really was finish it off decisively. But
love to sub the suit teacher outfit for the press conference. Like, I love a good tie Like, I feel like every substitute teacher I ever met wore like had the collared shirt with the short sleeves, but not a golf polo. And I love that he showed up in like a substitute teacher outfit, like on a Monday, like for homeroom and stuff, getting
He just
everyone's
needed like a
name wrong.
cardigan vest or something to go with it.
Yeah, like I play into it, you know? And like I love that like that was his idea of cool. Was like I'm gonna be a substitute teacher. I'm gonna be a working class guy. This is gonna be the cool look for
I can
me.
get behind that. I can
I
totally
can
get
get
behind
behind it too, you know? Like I like that.
All right, well, let's move on to Jahan Ingram. He, in my opinion, kind of clunkily.
It
Oh no,
was
I'm sorry.
bad.
I'm
It was
doing it.
bad.
I'm going backwards on this one. Devin Cushing won that fight. 10-round decision over Jahan Ingram. Honestly, I didn't think either one of them were super impressive. Ingram, he could have done more, but and Cushing, you could argue, well, he was up in the fight, so why would he? And he was kind of countering the entire fight. Why would he put himself in harm? But it just wasn't a great fight. I don't think it proved anything for Cushing. But he's now 19-0. Give me your take.
Trying to get us possibly a guest.
Oh.
I might be getting us a guest. Who knows how that goes. Look, I've always got a fondness for Devin Cushing because I came back from Italy from a wedding and you assigned me to the Fan Mio card that you probably forget that you assigned me to. I'm like, anything but the Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal card.
I remembered it as soon as you said that you were coming back and you
That was like
were
my
shot from
distinct
Europe.
room. I was in Florence. I'm like, anything but that card. And Jason goes, that's the card you're getting. And Devin Cushing and Shane Mosley Jr. were the only highlights of that card. So I have like a fondness for him. And it's like around the same time of year, June, July. It was like July when he fought. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But I mean, this is it. We're going to be real, right? This is a mid-off. These were two guys performing at a mid-level, and they didn't separate. Like, if we're going to be honest, you want to see separation in these type of fights. And you saw Cushing maybe winning on just being older, a little more experienced. Ingram got a little bit of buzz from like a viral clip, but it didn't leave you wanting more. And I feel like the profile they were on in the card, you wanted to kind of lust for them to go for a title or something impactful. And I just feel like now I just want to see a young up-and-comer fight one of these guys.
Yeah.
I don't feel excited to see them take a forward trajectory. How do you feel?
Well, Ingram's 9-1 now. He's not nearly as experienced as Cushing, but what I saw of him, honestly, I don't know that I care to see much more. Cushing, I thought Cushing looked good at times, and I mean, I thought his counterpunching was good. I thought he did a nice job of like controlling the distance for the most part, but then there were so many times he backed out and just kind of clowned. And I mean, I don't know. I'm a little old school that way. I don't really.
Let me add to this.
It's neither here nor there, but like, just get. We talked about this a little bit. You and I, kind of action fights. Like you want guys who are going to press the action in one way or another. You can be. Styles are going to make fights, and if you're a counter puncher, well then it kind of takes two to tango. But at the same time, it's like if you're going to dance around and look at me, then do something. And for a little more context, Gail said she went outside and watered her plants during the fight. So.
Well, I think that like let's compare our lives to Devin Cushing, and I mean that in a vague way. But in the sense of what I mean by that is you and me, I feel, are go-getters. We put our all into everything. And when I watched this fight, it was hard for me to put my all into the fight because it felt like he took a lot of time off. And when I put my all into everything, I feel like I give everything into it. And I felt like there's a part of me that wants to watch boxers that I feel like are giving everything that they can into a fight. And I didn't feel that from either fighter. And that didn't feel compelling to me. And maybe if this was lower on the card, I wouldn't be as critical. But in a co-main event spot on a marquee card on a big major network, I wanted to see someone really try to reach for the crown and be like, I am here. And it was a little too lackadaisical. I felt like Cushing had advantages in this fight and was a little too comfortable coasting and didn't assert himself enough. And for Ingram, it's like I think he had a good moment with Rolly that went on the internet and he got some fame from it. But it's like he's very unproven.
Yeah.
So it's a very unproven viral guy against a guy who basically has been in obscurity and has a good record, but for all we know, his record isn't all that great. And we just saw two guys fight at basically the same level with one guy outpoint him and no emotional connection. And I think that's one of the worst results you can have as a boxer in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, Cushing at some point was pretty certain he was going to win it. Even if you walk away from this fight, let's put yourself in Ingram's shoes. Do you want to walk away? Do you want to go down swinging or not? Do you want to walk away and at least, like you said, kind of put your best foot forward, try to take the fight at the end? If you can't, you can't. You lose, but viewers care about that stuff. And even if it's just I don't know, sometimes I think nowadays it's this, this whole try hard thing, seen as like a negative. And it's like, damn, man, like I thought that's what we were here for. Like you're supposed to try hard, you're supposed to win this thing. And with Cushing not providing any resistance or not jumping on that when Ingram didn't have much to offer and he wasn't pressing the action himself, it's kind of like you're standing there. It's like the Spider-Man meme. You're just both two guys just standing there kind of pointing at each other. Yeah, I don't. For
Guerrilla
me, it's
marketing.
Throwaway fun.
We wanted a good fight.
Yeah.
We wanted a good fight. Guerrilla marketing, right? And it's like Ingram was too content to lose, and Cushing was too content to be comfortable winning.
Yeah.
We wanted to see someone be like when I watch these type of fights, bro, as a middle-aged balding man with a cool shirt and some big ass muscles, and people are like, you're hella cool and stuff, and I'm like, nah, stop it. I'm normal. What I think
You're
this
anything
is
but
what
normal,
everyone says,
my
bro.
friend.
That's just the reaction. Is what they say. What I think in these type of fights, I want to see separation. I want Cushing to be like, I'm a different level. I deserve X amount of dollars because I'm that level of fighter. What I saw was him like kind of barely win a boring sparring session with a guy who got bored and stopped like trying because he felt like he was down on points.
And don't you, if you're Cushing, you see Ingram kind of give up or just sort of, he seems resigned to the fact that he's not going to push forward. He's not going to press the action. He's not going to try and win. At that point, doesn't that give you, if you're Cushing, all kinds of confidence to now take the fight by the throat and make it yours rather than like, yeah, let's coast to the end and just like take the W and walk away. I mean, again, if you're a viewer and like you said, this is a co-main, it's like, it's just, I don't know, leaves you feeling a little empty.
It's the mentality. I think some fighters don't feel comfortable pushing the action for whatever reason. But I feel like that's why it's always like I always talk about the psychology of boxing being so much more important than the X's and O's, right? Everyone's always talking about oh man, what about this foot feint and all that? And I think that, like, with Cushing, maybe you should have watched like some of those Vietnam movies and stuff. Like watch like guys getting deployed to war,
You're
and
talking
that
about
should have been
Tropic Thunder?
that's a pretty good that made me drink Tiger beer one summer. I drank Tiger beer the whole summer because of Tropic Thunder. But like there's a mentality that I think psychologically when like Cushing, I believe, and I'd love to interview Cushing and talk to him about this. I think he went in going, I'm gonna outbox him and I'm gonna be more skillful. And Marvin Hagler is one of my favorite fighters ever because he didn't go into fights saying, I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna outbox him. And he was talented, right? He could fight both stances. He was a great boxer. He said, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. And I'm gonna break you. And I think that we're missing some of, like David Benavidez, right? And it's unfair to compare David Benavidez to Devin Cushing, right? But David Benavidez doesn't go into fights going, I'm going to outbox you. I'm going to win 10 rounds. But there's an emotional connection with fans. Like, no matter where I'm at in my life, I'm going to watch a David Benavidez pay-per-view because I know what he's coming to do. And it's pretty fun. And I like fights.
That could be a good story, like the best TV fighters, currently.
Hey, don't steal our content. You're the editor in chief. Don't give it away for free. Don't do a work meeting on the live. But
this is turned into a Zoom call.
Yeah, turned into a Zoom work call, and everyone's like, "Oh man, this is fun." But what I'm saying is, for Devin Cushing, I think there was a spiritual disconnect from what the viewer wanted and from what his intention was. And he was such a level above Ingram. He needed to separate himself better. And I think he was too content with the situation he was in.
Yeah.
And he's in that uncomfortable spot where he took a hard 50-50 fight and it did absolutely nothing for his career.
Yeah.
And it absolutely sucks.
And to be fair, he also may have expected something different from Ingram. I mean, if you're expecting a guy to come at you, and again, he was I don't know if that's his style typically, but he was counterpunching pretty much through the whole fight. If you don't have somebody who's going to press forward and you're a counterpuncher, you're not going to get much of a fight out of it. And
Jason, war general here. We go to Vietnam. It's you and me. We go to Hamburger.
You're on the Vietnam kick tonight, huh?
I'm on the Vietnam. Big Vietnam movie film. But we go to Hamburger Hill. We think we know it, but then you have to adjust. Right?
Yeah.
You look and then you're like, that. And that's why I don't have as much sympathy for boxers. Because it's like when you go to war, you should be like, okay, this doesn't look right. Or, okay, the fans are on their phones. This is my income to pay for my life for the rest of my life, or at least for now. Why is everyone on their phone and not interested? I think there should be a little bit of I think that we're a little too kind at times.
Well, as a segue, we can turn to the main event, Ashton Sylve's 10-round decision over JoJo Diaz, because JoJo was not that guy. JoJo fought his ass off, had a plan, did, in my opinion, pretty much everything he could. And I know you and I were messaging back and forth throughout. You had a lot of.
I was in your DMs. Yeah, I was in your DMs.
You were in my DMs. You slid right in, and then you made some good calls as well. Like you had told me.
Don't give me that much credit, Jason. I was off a lot.
You thought, what did you say? You thought he was JoJo was bodying him, was kind of schooling him a little bit, and being physical, and he was, a little bit behind the head, a little bit, off the break. Um, Sylve was much faster, much quicker, had the reach advantage, was on his bike almost constantly through those first 4 rounds, but I think it was round 4 where you said he's gonna start slowing down by round 6. You thought JoJo was actually taking the right approach, and then we saw what we saw.
Also, note in the chat, I see Lily trying to get another invite.
Yeah,
She's in
and
purgatory like I was
I don't know
when I
what's
was, like,
happening because I can't get her. I can't remove her from the video. It's not allowing me to. It's saying that it does, but it's
I
not.
just was bringing that up because I was in purgatory for, like,
I
ever.
know. I can't invite her back until this thing turns off, unfortunately. But
Sick.
I'm
That's
gonna
awesome.
see if I can get her back while you respond.
Do a monologue. Well,
Yeah.
basically, I'll just say what I was saying to my buddies is I was very unimpressed with Ashton Sylve. I've known Ashton for a while, but look, we're supposed to do at the Good Fight. The concept of this platform is independent journalism and just people saying stuff, and we don't care. And that I'm going to do the spirit of that, right? I think that there are he's going against fundamental concepts of boxing that people have worked for. Like Joe Louis wouldn't fight like Ashton Sylve. Joe Louis is the most fundamental fighter. I grew up OG Bobby Warren, King's Gym. Fight like Joe Louis. Boom, step. Carl Sharrock. He goes jab, right hand, step. Ashton Sylve doesn't do any of the principles that I was basically taught as fundamental boxing. He keeps his hands at his hips and he relies strictly on reflexes, timing, and he does a lot of excessive movement and moves around the ring. JoJo Diaz at this point, and I like JoJo. You know I like JoJo. I've done a lot of interviews with JoJo. JoJo is not the same fighter he was.
No,
In
this was his
2018,
9th loss in his last 11 fights. So
but I mean, since he like his best days were at featherweight. So this is a featherweight fighter fighting at 140 pounds because of convenience. He can't make his best weight class anymore, right? That's how I feel personally. And Ashton Sylve is struggling with someone who's smaller than him physically, who's older than him, and is adapting a style of walk down and press you. And he's a physically smaller guy. Like he's an older, like when we get older, I think we weigh more. I haven't gotten too old, so I don't know. But I
that's the
know
way
that
it's worked for me.
yeah, it's the way it's worked for me too. And I felt like this was a performance that was extremely cautionary for Ashton. And then I feel like his mindset scares me. This is not an A+ performance. This is not like a good performance. This would be like a C level performance for me. To call this an A+ performance is not great. I think that he has great attributes, but the issue I have with Ashton, and you jump in, Jason, because I get long-winded and I'm sipping on some Texas tea, but I think the issue with Ashton is there's a belief that he can defy the age-old traditions of boxing, that he can do things that other people can't. And I tend to believe that no one can do that. I tend to believe I'm more of the Andre Ward school of thought of high guard, be tactical, be smart in there. And Ashton's more of like, let me move around, reflexes, hit you with a right hand. And then what I didn't like in this fight, man, was in the 6th round, he started holding. He started holding a lot. He
He was
didn't
out
like that
gassed.
pressure. I actually have notes. This is how professional I am. I wrote notes. I wrote, Sylve stands too tall. JoJo starts too slow. Ashton lacks focus. Ashton relies on athleticism and powers, and his hands are too low. He was caught with a right hand in an exchange in the 8th round that changed his demeanor, and Sylve went to the wrong corner between rounds 8 and 9. Those are the notes I wrote for this exact podcast. And I felt like he thought he was going to close the show in round 8 and get a stoppage, and he got caught with that punch because he had fought lesser opposition where he was able to do that. So those are kind of my thoughts.
Well, Gail agrees with you. She says he's an athlete with natural talent. Kind of skated along early on through his early fights, and now it's kind of catching up with him. Lily agrees. Yeah, I think all of that's valid. I do think, to be fair, Diaz, even though he's lost a bunch of fights, even though he's not the same as he was, he's been tough as hell. Even all those losses, he's had, he's fought some tough opposition, and even tonight, he took a lot of Sylve's best shots. You had even said as we were watching it, JoJo's not going to win, but he's gonna push him and he's gonna make Sylve look bad, and I think that kind of came to pass. And Sylve sounds like he wants body again, which I get it. I don't know that it makes sense for him to step back in with that just yet, especially after this fight. I think they need to kind of assess where he's at. As Lily said, they were offended. They were offended that she asked about his defense, but everybody saw the same thing out there. We know he's not ready. And the thing is you talk about a guy like a high level guy, similar to Sylve in the sense that athlete, reflexes, keeps his hands down. Roy Jones. Okay, Roy Jones was a Hall of Fame phenomenal fighter, and I think even though he was unconventional, there was some technique there that he could always fall back on if he needed to. But even he eventually kind of ran into the buzzsaw. Like it caught up with him as well. Some of that was age, some of that was moving up and moving back down. But Ashton Sylve is not Roy Jones Jr. So
no,
they need to figure out what the next logical steps are for him to sort of make the most of the talent that he has, but also give him a little bit of time to start closing up some of those holes.
Can I ask a question to you, Jason?
Sure.
Okay. Do 16-year-old pro boxers just simply not work?
You'd know the answer to that better than I would.
I probably would, but I'm kind of asking to you so I don't have to answer the question myself. But
so I'll say this. People talk about the generation now. These kids today don't want to work. I don't agree with that. I actually think these kids are just like any kids from any other generation. I think, and I'm kind of talking about something else entirely, but yeah, I don't know what Sylve's work ethic is. I don't know if there's more that he could be doing. It sounds like that's what you're implying, but at the very least, like I said, there are holes there that they need to see. They need to know they're there, and I assume they see it just the same as the rest of us. And if they're not addressed, he's only going to go so far. It's just going to, maybe bodying the next time, maybe somebody else, but he's going to get caught. And you saw JoJo, like you said, smaller guy, 33 years old, 9 losses now in his last 11 fights. And JoJo was pressing him at the end. I mean, he was, as you said, he was kind of punking him. And, if that's happening under those circumstances, if you think you're ready for a title fight or or even for, a contender. There's work to do.
Yes, I heard about a third of that, but I agree.
So say what's on your mind. You're talking about 16-year-old boxers not working.
Well, I just think like, look, we're leading into the good fight next week. I'm gonna have a compelling piece about Jerron Booth's innocence and authenticity, and kind of like what makes a star. But the flip side of that is Xander Zayas, 16-year-old boxer, going into a pay-per-view fight, a little bit older than Fernando Vargas. Comparisons are to be made. Gabriel Flores, who's like a little brother to me, little cousin. Joey Spencer, someone else I know pretty well. Watch his whole come up. I haven't seen this 16-year-old boxer thing work out well. Because what the 16-year-old
What do you mean? Hold on, back up for a sec. When you say 16-year-old
break
boxers,
it
you're
down.
talking about Zayas and you're talking about other people.
Turning pro at 16
Obviously
years
Zayas
old,
isn't 16.
16, 17 years old.
You mean when they were 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gabe Flores turned pro at 16, I believe.
Oh, gotcha.
Ashton turned pro at 17. Joey probably turned pro at 17, maybe 18. But it's like essentially high school age, like developmental high school age. You're not an adult. You maybe not have, if you get what I'm saying, you might not have hit a doobie. You might not have, sipped some Texas tea. And yet you're signing up to fight some 28-year-olds. And
Right.
I've not yet seen that work out well.
Well, so counterpoint, Gail brought up Devin Haney, turned pro at 17, and he did a lot of kicking around Tijuana early in his career, I know. So he fought some tough vets down there. What say you about Haney?
Yeah, but Dev's got Bill. and look, Bill is an East Oakland player. And he got a game. And for those that don't know, that's just what it is. That's the translation is. That's what it is.
Okay.
And when you have a dad who's an East Oakland player, that's an advantage. And he read the room and did it right. And that was a 101. That's kind of like when people go and look at the stock market and they go, well, I'm going to be the next Warren Buffett. Well, no. He read the room and he did a thing, and the game changed after Warren Buffett did it. That's what Bill, like, if you look, the game completely changed in Mexico because of Bill Haney. No one ever talks about that. Once Bill did what Bill did, Mexico adjusted the market, so no one ever did what Bill did again. American fighters started losing after Devin did what he was doing. Yeah. So I think that Bill Haney, and I'll always say this, is one of the greatest managers in boxing history. And he reminds me of the modern Don King. He's very similar to Don King to me, but he's one of the greatest managers. He's amazing at management. Shoot, I wish he'd manage the good fight the way he manages people. But Devin's different because it was like, you got to remember, Ashton was with a I guess the way I'd say it is, when these fighters get with corporations, Top Rank's a corporation or a big company. Joey was with a big company. Ashton was with a big company. There's big pressure. Devin was independent at 17. It took him a while. He built himself up. Wasn't he about 2021 when he went to Showtime for the Showbox fights, when I was tagging along and hanging on to his coat strings for the Juan Carlos Burgos fight that we talked about earlier in the broadcast? I think I was hanging on to his boot strings in about 2018, and when he was about 21, just able to get into a bar. So I think also the difference is Bill keeping him independent loosened up some of those restrictions, because I'll say the real, right, Jason, and you haven't talked a lot, so that means I'm being boring, is a lot of times the issue is when you get a 16-year-old fighter, 17-year-old fighter, when they get to be 20, they're 16-0. You know what that means? That means you got to take real fights. The problem is those real fights are 28, 29, 30, 31-year-olds. There's a physical disadvantage, and it takes special fighters to win those fights, and not every young fighter can do that.
Yeah, and we're still a week away, and I think maybe we'll fire up one of these for it, but I think of that a little bit with Boots and Zayas. Like, it's not a huge age difference, but Boots just strikes me as being so much bigger than Zayas, and some of that's just the eye test, some of that's just a feeling, but yeah,
Over under on backpack to the weigh-in or press conference. What do you think? Does Boots wear a backpack like he's going to homeroom?
Well, look, if we're gonna do over under, we're just gonna pick that he's wearing it, but we gotta figure out what it's gonna be.
We're trying to be a gambling
like
show.
Hello
We're
Kitty.
trying to make big money.
Is it gonna be like Hello Kitty or like Transformers? Like, what are we thinking?
I'm thinking MCM. I'm going luxury. I'm going MCM or Louis Vuitton. Like, I think I'm going those two. I think that it's got to be luxury brand. I'm going sideways hat. I'm saying in and out like a robbery, big ass chain. And I think the catchphrases are, you already know what I'm about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do. And okay, yeah, bro. Those are my expressions from
We've
Boots.
seen that movie. We've already seen that movie plenty of times.
Those are my prop bets, are like, I'm in and out like a robbery, big ass chain, But also, like, at what level do you have to get to be a boxer? Like, imagine if boxing writers got to have big ass chains.
Who says we can't?
Well, I think it's a pay thing. Like, but like, when do
we can,
like
hey,
when
cubic zirconium's a thing, man.
Nah, but like, if I'm gonna get a chain, I want to get one where I'm like scared if I'm gonna get robbed. I gotta have like a security detail and like be afraid, Like, if I'm getting a chain, it's like I gotta have like some CIA guys with me. But like, when is the point where you're a boxer where you're like, damn, I'm looking around and all these other fighters have chains and I don't have a chain. Like, what do you think? Like, top 20 in the world? Like, you start thinking about getting a chain? Like, when's the chain level go?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've seen plenty of guys do it way before then. But I mean, me, I'm the old school, we'll just call old. Forget school. Old white guy. I love the old Mike Tyson, walk into the ring, black trunks, nothing else. Like, just let's go. Let's go. Like, part of the allure was, and part of the terror of fighting him was that it was just like, he was like a great white shark. He just, like, you knew what you were in for, and there was no other, just like the perfect killing machine. And there were no other accoutrements or baubles or no other accessories needed. And so maybe that's why we don't have the chains ourselves.
I think my definition of when we're absolutely screwed as a culture is when Rafael Espinosa is wearing a big chain. I think he is my baseline. When Rafael Espinosa is wearing a chain, I just think we're screwed.
We just got to pull the plug on everything.
We got to pull the plug, I saw Collazo showing up for his fight today, and it's like his opponent missed weight on 2 days' notice to fill in for a fight no one cares about, and it's
Was
like,
it like 6 pounds over, something like that?
who knows? It's not my job to even care anymore, but, like, it's like, here's Oscar Collazo. We're like, I don't know. I guess he's a pound for pound. What would you say he's a pound for pound fighter?
I put him in my top 10. He was 10. And I know you were
I
kinda
don't
dogging him
know.
a little bit the other day, but and I agreed with you actually. Like he's gotta fight. I mean, there's obviously not as much depth. There's not as much star power where he's fighting, but he's he's gonna have to keep stepping up and keep finding new challenges if he wants to stay there.
To be fair, when I was like in the playground, I was dogging Finito Lopez as a young autistic boxing fan. And I was like, man, this guy's got to move up in weight. So this might be like full circle Lukey. Finito Lopez, Oscar Collazo's the new Finito Lopez. But it's like, hey man, Oscar Collazo, you're getting all these accolades. You fight at 105 pounds. Maybe fight someone that we've heard of. I don't know. Like fight a relevant fighter. Fight a unification bout. I don't know.
Well,
To
at
me,
the
it
very
doesn't
least,
sound.
that yes, I will say that unfortunately for a lot of boxing fans, they're not going to know anybody he's fighting down there anyway. There are not a lot of people in his neck of the woods or that far down on the ladder, I should say, that people are going to recognize. But yeah, at least pull the belts together, give us something to work with. And I'm not a big fan of pushing guys to move up and move up just endlessly. But if if there's nothing going on in your weight class and you want to continue challenging yourself and who knows? I don't know what his motivations are. Maybe
ESPN show. We're gonna push back. I am a big fan of pushing guys up weight classes if you fight at 105 pounds because I don't know any of
well,
the
yeah,
fighters.
you're talking about 3 pounds.
So maybe go up to 108 pounds or maybe 112 and
Right.
fight some of these guys that like we have an emotional connection to because it's like it seems like you're a generational talent and it seems like you have the ability to move up 3 pounds and beat guys up. And it's like pretty frustrating. Like Lily said it in the chat, I called Collazo the anti-Bam. Like Bam does like only title fights or interesting fights. It's like Collazo's fighting some guy, and he was fighting some guy, and then they're like, actually, you know what we're gonna do? The guy can't get a visa. We're gonna get another guy. So we're gonna get the other guy to come in, and it's just like I don't know. I have trouble putting Collazo on a pound for pound list over Boots Ennis. And I get that he's done all this stuff, but Boots passes the eye test more. And it seems like Boots is seeking challenges. Whereas Collazo, it's like he's like, I want to be undisputed at 105 pounds where no one knows any of the fighters. And it's just, it doesn't fascinate me. And maybe I'm just a bad person for that.
Well, I don't know if you're a bad person for that, but no, I mean, especially when we've seen Inoue and Bam, and I mean, before them, Pacquiao, and we've seen a lot of guys move multiple and in some cases many weight classes, and they're going where the fights are. They're going where the money is. But there's money there because fans want to see the fights. So yeah, I think it's a fair criticism. Hopefully we'll see him fight somebody that everybody knows soon enough, regardless of what weight class.
Lily's checking in
Yeah,
as a bad
Lily's
person.
checking in as a bad person.
So she can't get into the chat. I wish she could jump in so she could be my ally. Like it's like Wario and like Waluigi.
Yeah,
And
I
then you
don't
could be
need
like
you
the
guys
good
ganging up on
person.
me.
Yeah, exactly. You're like the moral individual. But basically, to summarize everything, it's like Ashton Sylve like passes like the flash test. Like you could do like an Instagram video and you'd be like, dude, that guy's sick. He's got a cool back tattoo. There's like a lot to like about him. But like when you watch the full fight, like you have major issues when you look at boxing historically and you go, okay, you're fighting with your hands low, you're relying on reflexes. I mean, the closest comparison I can say to him is he fights like Prince Nazim Hamed, but without the same power. And I just don't trust it. And then it's like at the same time, I get the sense from his team that if you bring up these issues with them, they're going to look at you like you're a messed up individual or you're not a good guy. And
Well,
that
that's what we
also
got
is
from Lily. Lily asked the question, and I mean, look, he's 14-1, but that one was a doozy, and he's gonna
knockout of
fight.
the year.
Yeah, and he's gonna fight better guys than Body if he keeps moving the way he's supposed to. And I mean, what's the outcome there? Like, I mean, it's just gonna catch up with you if you don't fill those holes.
So Lily in the chat said apparently people were impressed, under the impression that Snoop Dogg was going to show up and he didn't show up. A couple of people told me. I mean, like, isn't Snoop Dogg 60 years old?
He's
Like,
in
how old
bed.
is Snoop?
He's in bed right now.
Like, don't get me wrong. When I was in middle school, I was jamming Snoop. But is Snoop like, when's the last Snoop album that came out?
I don't know, man, but he's been doing all right for himself with the commercials and showing
No,
up
but
and all these. He's making
that's
cameos
cool.
everywhere.
But
Yeah, good for him.
I'm saying like he's become a cultural icon as a guy that smokes weed and he's like a fun personality. But he got notable for like being a poet and making some cool songs. I mean, the last album I ever heard was the Blue Carpet Treatment or Blue Carpet something. And that was like 2008.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like I can't think of anything. And it's like if we're
Well,
gonna
he's reaching Diane Cannon status. He's famous for being famous.
I want to get there, man. Don't you want to get there?
We'll get you there. We'll get you
We'll
there.
get me there. The good fight's
Before this
gonna
whole
get me
thing's
there.
all over, we're gonna get you there.
We're gonna get me there. But like, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, who would want to be associated? I don't know. Like, is even like I guess Snoop is famous, but it's like you're a boxer. Isn't Snoop's appeal that he's like a gang member and a rapper and he smokes weed? Like it's a counterculture lifestyle, and maybe it's cool that he's fascinated by your boxing, or he has like a sibling who's related to you. But it's like when I grew up watching the Andre Wards in the gym, and it's like, yeah, Andre was around a lot of the guys that, you know, tough guys and stuff, but Andre was Andre. And he made a name for himself based on himself. His name was his name. And it's like I don't really like that. Where it's like guys are showing up to see someone else. It's like you show up to see the fighter, but maybe I'm just an old hater.
I don't know if I'm following you. What's
Maybe
the
I don't
argument?
know if I'm following myself. So throw back some criticism and let's try to deconstruct this.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're on 90 minutes now, so I think we'll
Way too many
quits there.
minutes.
We'll quit while we're ahead, and then hopefully next time we'll be able to bring Lily and maybe others back. We're going to try and hammer out some of these technical difficulties, and I'm hoping that
I think the technical difficulties are sick, though.
I just hope this looks a hell of a lot better once it's recorded and we put it up there than it felt in the moment. We're going to find out, but anyhow, Gail, thank you very much for hanging out with us, and hopefully we'll get more eyes on this once it's recorded and posted on the site. We'll get it up on YouTube as well. But thank you again to Lily Ulloa for all her hard work at the fights tonight, and thank you to Luke Cattell for joining me here. And I am Jason
Yeah, super
Langendorf.
hard.
What's that?
So super hard work tonight.
Hey, man, showing up is hard enough work. All right. We'll catch you next time, and we'll see you at the fights. Thanks. Bye.